All right, so today's Burn and Learn project is I'm going to try to create another layered logo sign. This one is for the New York Rangers. So I downloaded this off of Google, just the logo, black and white. So first thing I want to do is let's blow this up a little bit so you can see it. Select that image. I'm going to trace it. That looks good. The only thing that's missing is this triangle. So if I try to bring more of that in, doesn't look clean. I don't like the lines. Well, let's give it a try. See what happens. All right, I'm going to hide that image. See what that looks like. It's not really clean, but I do also notice that there's a second line here. So I'm going to ungroup this, and there's a second double line. I'm going to delete that, which looks good. And then for the backing of it, I need a backing plate. I'm just going to select that line, duplicate it, paste that. I'm going to make it a different color. Well, that's not what I wanted to do. So let's try that again. Take that line, let's see. Oh, it is there, so I'm just going to change it to red. And kind of move that out of the way. So that's basically two cuts. This will be the first. It'll cut out all of the lettering, all of these pieces, and then I'm going to cut a second one in the red. That's just going to be for the backer so I can place all the pieces. So I'm going to stop here. Let's try to get the laser set up with my materials, and then we'll go from there. So my material is about 14 inches by 5.5 inches. So I'm going to make this a little smaller. I drew a rectangle representing my material size. I'm going to flip this and size it to fit into my material. Oh, that's incorrect. That's why we call this Burn and Learn. So there we go. That's better. I'm going to fit that in there. So it's got to be a lot smaller. Okay. We'll do the same with the red. So I'm going to flip it. And I'm just going to take the measurements of this and make this the same. It's 119, 160. By 123, 23. Correct this. All right, so that seems to be about the same size. And then we're going to cut. Okay, I've turned my laser on, have my air assist on, my vent is on. All right, I'm going to move this now to a position on my laser where I want to cut, where my material is. I'm going to drag this down here somewhere. and I want to do the black first and then the red. So I'm going to shut the output out. Actually, I'm going to shut those off, and I'm just going to go to laser and line up my material. Make sure this is homed. And now I'm just going to go to frame. This is going to outline that box. So I'll try that again. Alright, that looks about right. Let me adjust the height. Alright, so now go back to my cut layers. I want to take off that green. I don't want that to cut. I don't really want that to show. I'm going to turn off the red, and the only ones I'm going to cut right now is the black. So let's go back to laser. Let's frame that. That looks good. I'm going to start the process. Alright, and we'll be back. Alright, this is why we call it burn and learn. So apparently I made some type of mistake where this is cutting twice. I'm going to move this out of the way. Looks like it was doing 2 passes. So that's pretty clean, but if you could see it, it was making a second cut. So something is not right. I'm going to have to look at the settings and come back. Alright, so this is the second attempt at the cut. The first time I realized I had 2 passes turned on, and it would cut through the first pass, and then the second time around it would burn the material as it fell through. So I restarted it, actually flipped my material, and I'm trying to run it again, and we'll see how it turns out this time. Okay, so it looks like it cut out pretty good. A couple of the letters dropped in. I got real close up here, but it's still within the parameters. Next, I am going to cut the outer layer, so I'm going to turn off the black. I'm going to turn on that red, and I'm going to align my laser. Alright, so here are all the pieces. This did not cut all the way through, so I'm going to just trim it with a sharp blade here. See if I get this to pop out without breaking the piece, because I'm going to use perfect. I'm going to use this so I could place all the letters. So here are the pieces. All right, I'm going to paint them. Here's the outer layer. I'm going to use this as a template inside to paste all the layers, to glue all the layers down. Well, and then I will remove this center plate so it'll give it that 3D effect. So next step is paint. So here I'm painting. I did not record the white, but I'm going to do the blue. This is the background. So this is going to show through all the other letters. And then for this little corner piece, we're going to hit it with the red. Alright, we're going to let that dry and then we'll assemble. Alright, so there it is with these pieces reattached. I'm just going to press down on them gently. I'm actually going to use the template that I had just to put a little pressure on them. I don't want to use my fingers directly. I don't want to transfer any of the glue or discoloration. I'm just going to press down. I might even turn it over, press it down on the board, make sure everything sticks. And there you go. New York Rangers logo,
3-dimensional, 2 layers. I think it came out great. We're going to spray a finish on it and give it to a friend. Thanks for watching.